Okay, so beginning warning again. I am watching this through a third party. So I am not giving any money to Disney because they're doing some shady shit. From, canceling a bunch of trans episodes because of a certain party winning a presidential election to, was it the voice actor for Spider-Man saying, oh, I didn't want to be a show that's too woke. And it's like, that's some dog whistling if I've ever heard it. And then, but they are trying to somewhat maybe fix that because there is a lot of, Nico's bi and all this other stuff in this show. And it's pretty decent. And then also on top of that, they cut a lot of the racist asshole who's like that ex-widow, whatever bullshit from the Captain America movie. So they didn't cut her out completely, but they did cut her shit down a lot. There's a point where, you see her in her super suit kind of under her jacket, but she never does anything with it. And we never see, a full thing. So, I'm pretty sure they cut out an entire fight scene and all that stuff. So, Disney's on thin ice. Just wanted to know and know all this shit before going in or supporting any Disney stuff. And, when I say I like the show, I am saying maybe don't watch it through first party means. Oh, my name's Fox. So, hey, I'm Fox. This is episode 5 and 6 of The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Daredevil! Which I forgot, it was announced that he was going to be in this. But I completely forgot. Also, side tangent. I remember watching the 94 Spider-Man, and I misunderstood the episode of that Daredevil does appear in that. When they go through Daredevil's backstory, and I thought Daredevil actually trained Spider-Man as a kid. Remembering that, not really listening to when Daredevil literally said, if it's his child, how he learned all that stuff back when he was a kid. Anyways, it was just a funny thing. So I, for a long time, I thought Daredevil was the one who trained Spider-Man. Which, he kind of is being mentor-ish here. But, yeah, alright, let's see here. Alright, but, let's see here. But Harry is... Okay, so after Harry, finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, Norman, which honestly is probably manipulated this whole thing, pretty much says, Harry should join Team Spider-Man, and Harry goes, yeah, I could be the dude at the desk! Because, guy at the chair, dude at the desk. Alternate universes, alternate titles, I guess. But he's the dude at the desk. And when Norman can't be doing things, Harry will babysit, I guess, instead. And, first off, the friendship kind of gets off at a rocky start. But it honestly kind of blooms into something kind of cool. Because Harry brings up, he was homeschooled most of his life. He has no one to talk to. And all of his friends that he had are all just, usually trying to use him for clout or money. Where Spider-Man, and this is so far as it seems, isn't really trying to do that. Especially, he's literally doing it because, one, he needs someone on his team to help him with those specific things. And then, it's just, Peter isn't specifically trying to be his friend because of, money or whatever. Pete, however, and Pete also is obviously still trying to keep his friendships with, Nico. And they're just trying to figure all this out. He's trying to figure all this out. And while this is going on, Otto is still selling all of these, this tech. He sells a helmet that it looks like a rhino to this one group of, that got, catched in the last episode. Except for the one girl who gets a helmet that they're like, oh, it looks like a rhino. No, I'm more like the unicorn. And then shoots laser beams out of her horn at people. It also kind of gives a quote unquote spider sense in a sense where it is able to calculate different things to know oh, he's going to flip and turn at a 90 degree like this. And pretty much Otto brings up obviously they're all paying him for all his gadgets and stuff. And the whole reason they were stealing all this was so that they could buy gadgets from Otto, because Otto is trying to boost up his corporation or his own, startup, I guess, which already has like thousands of dollars, if not millions, already away. But whatever. And so he's pretty much trying to do that shit. He's also probably like a neat freak a little bit, but he's trying to build, his own empire that could rival Oscorp, and selling all this technology to these crooks so they could try to do all this. Which later on Norman says that he knows who Otto is, that they're friends, and that Otto left because he couldn't get over himself. Obviously, there's probably a little bit more to that, but especially because this is coming from a dude whose name is literally on the side of a building, so it's like he couldn't share the progress or whatever, and it's like, motherfucker, what? But also on that same, okay, so that's that whole thing. Peter and Harry become kind of more friends, eventually to the point where at the very end, Peter, after fighting the unicorn, all that stuff, and Rhino, the actual Rhino, help stopping the unicorn, he almost forgets that he has to go meet up with Nico, and eventually he does actually make it there on time, which is like, oh shit. But also Harry is there. It's like, oh, okay, that's a cool way to mess with the, him always being late or whatever. It's like, oh no, yeah, he's on time, but just Harry was there too to join him with, and pretty much after that, Peter wants them to kind of be friends. Let's see if all of them can be friends together, especially because Harry has no friends, and they're trying to do that. So they decide to have a meetup where they stay at his aunt's house. They watch movies, they play bunch of board games all at the same time together. And they all seem to be having fun until Peter eventually gets called away because Norman calls Harry because Peter turned off his phone. So then he could give the phone to Peter. So Peter and Harry already seem like maybe there's a little bit of jealousy slightly growing up there already. But Peter, pretty much, there's a break-in at Oscorp, which, mind you, this all happened after Peter, or Norman is at a fundraiser, which he also meets Red Hulk, or Ross, which they didn't make him look like, they made him look like the original actor instead of, Harrison Ford right now, which I'm like, alright. I'm guessing this was a little bit later in development, maybe? I'm not sure when the original actor died, sadly. But, whatever. They bring that up, and again, one thing I really like about this is that, it is showing a little bit more of, Peter's life in the MCU kind of style of things and all that stuff, and obviously all these other meetups. And, that's kind of the thing that, I feel like movies kind of mess up a little bit. Mind you, they can be done before with, obviously, The Amazing Spider-Man did it. I don't like the Raimi ones, so screw those ones. But I like The Amazing Spider-Man. It gives, multiple days and all the other stuff that happens. But I feel like a TV show is probably the way better version of some superhero stories if you want to do them, because you could have these long running storylines and all this stuff going around. Obviously, comic books, yeah. But I mean in the sense of something that's visual novel and all that. Something that's speaking and talking and all that stuff. Music, all that. I'd say this is probably better than most movies. Honestly, I prefer shows a lot of times over movies. They're quicker to get out usually, and they tell a much longer story than just, a 2-hour thing. Mind you, that 2 hours might be amazing, but still amazing. But anyways, so also I do love that a lot of the times they're always calling him amazing. Wow, you're amazing! Wow, you're amazing! I'm like, alright, I get it. I like that though. But yeah, so Peter, pretty much he shows Ross, look, I'm fully behind you, and supporting the Sokovia Accords and all that. I actually have my own super under my... And he shows him, a blueprint that shows the Spider-Man. It says Spider-Man and it shows the suit. But it shows, one of his security guards instead of Peter. So he is hiding Peter's identity, but also, he's also trying to say, oh yeah, Spider-Man works for me. It's okay. But yeah, or maybe just setting up to where he can replace Peter if he wants to. I have no idea. Sorry, I have pie. In any case, eventually Peter does get to Oscorp, where he finds out the intruder is the Daredevil, who is really great. Mind you, I don't think... I actually kind of wonder... Because in this, obviously, he beats him because Daredevil is way more skilled. But in 616, I wonder who would be the better fighter with everything. Because Daredevil obviously has his super sense and stuff like that. But he is human. I think maybe the mutagen that also made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles might have given him a little bit of a boost in physical stuff. But I think it mostly is skill, and him and Peter kind of have a similar-esque output. But the thing is, like, similar-esque, like, style of fighting and all that stuff. But also, Peter can lift, like, several tons. So I'm like, I feel like maybe if Peter did go all out, not here, because this is mostly skill, I can have one out. But if he did just go all out, I think he could beat the hell out of Daredevil. But, and mind you, I love Daredevil. I love that whole thing. Which also another thing that's cool is, him just, like, dodging everything. Because also they do, like, his heightened sense and everything, like, it shows kind of in the movie where, like, he catches the brick before Peter could even grab it. Like, because his heightened senses are almost a match for Peter's, like, spidey sense, which is kind of insane if you think about it. But, actually, they haven't even really brought up spidey sense, I don't think, in this yet. So, and mind you, in MCU, it took him a little bit to actually eventually master spider sense. So maybe he doesn't actually have it yet. But, which also I like that spider sense is something that he kind of has to learn to control. Or learn to use. Daredevil. But yeah, so pretty much they fight. Daredevil says, like, you're fighting for the wrong team. I know you sound young. You sound inexperienced, but you sound like you're trying to do the right thing. I understand that. Like, but you need to stop. Like, Earl Miles is who you think he has something evil going on. Eventually, Norman tries to pass off as the whole thing with that Daredevil is quote unquote hired by Otto Octavius to try to steal whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, no, that's not true, but whatever. But so Daredevil knocks out Peter. They give that whole spiel and all that stuff. And it's really cool seeing Daredevil in this. It's really cool seeing a show that's able to do the crossovers again with everyone else. It's not just Spider-Man. Because, yeah, like, that's the... I'm trying to think, like, it's kind of the thing with, like, a superhero world. Where, like, it makes sense, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's why this superhero... Like, it's kind of nuts the thing, like, only one superhero exists in a world. If it's something like the Raimi verse or the Amazing Spider-Man a little bit, where it's like, really? This technology and all this other stuff, the superpower and all this stuff, is focused all in New York City? Nowhere else in the world did they come up with any random bullshit that turned a man green and giant? Like, really? All of it's focused in New York? Come on now. I feel like that's a little bit of But yeah, I like this now, where it feels, again, like the world. Like, that's the thing. That's the biggest draw for the MCU. The Amazing Spider-Man, I love that one a lot. I think that is probably the perfect Spider-Man on screen for a lot of things. But the thing about the MCU one is, one, it's a different interpretation of Peter, and also, the world he inhabits is a world filled with superheroes. That is, I think, way more worth of admission than a lot of people try to give it credit for. But yeah, so like I that is a big, like, reason why I love that universe. I love the MCU Spider-Man movies. Are they my favorite? No. My favorite Spider-Man movies are the freaking Spider-Verse. Those two movies are freaking phenomenal and probably the best Spider-Man media ever. This, however, is a pretty decent show. I wouldn't say it's beating Spectacular anytime soon, but it is pretty high up there. It is pretty good. It's way better than the 2017 one, and I like that one. I don't know if I would say it's better than 94 because of all the other baggage on it, but yeah. But yeah. This movie is freaking phenomenal. I love it a lot. Or the show. I'm liking it a lot. Again, don't like what the voice actor was saying about shit about, oh, I didn't want the show. I didn't want the show to be too woke. It's like, shut the hell up. But anyways. Sorry, I'm going to keep bringing that shit up. I should have a warning in the beginning of this video as well. Or I should have said it. But anyways. Let me see. Is there anything extra? Oh, there's a point where Harry and Miko, after Peter leaves, pretty much they try to bond over tarot cards. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And Miko actually puts up the devil card, which, fun fact, is my tarot card. Because there's a tarot card tied to every one of like your birth months or whatever. Whether you believe in astrology and all this other bullshit or not. Like, this is like the thing where, like, which I loved. I love the thing. Like, the different month or zodiac has a tarot card to it. And mine is the devil. Which I was like, oh! And the cool thing is, the devil card is Mephisto. Which, if you don't know who Mephisto is, he's the asshole. And he's the asshole he's the asshole that has caused Peter to not be with MJ right now. And erase his whole wedding thing. Did give him back web shooters, though, which all I can say is, okay, we can blame Raimi for one more day, right? Because like they wanted to reset Peter back to default with like web shooters and everything, and the reason why they gave him organic webs was so he could tie in with Raimi, the Raimi movies. So can we blame the Raimi movies for one more day? I'm gonna blame the Raimi movies for one more day, but yeah. Yeah, and then eventually when they do the tarot card reading, Harry's like, oh no, I actually just like this stuff. Like, he's like, oh, then I flip the card to find the match, right? And Nico's like, wait, I thought you like tarot cards. He's like, oh no, I only like it for like, it's like, I don't actually believe in it. And then pretty much he says like, look, I didn't have any friends and all this stuff, and like, I see you guys are so great friends. And Nico's like, yeah, we're great friends, we're awesome friends. He's like, oh, so you know Peter's secret? And he's like, and Nico's like, what secret? And he's like, oh, he's Spider-Man. And eventually when Peter comes back, Nico's like, oh, yeah, Harry's trying to say you're Spider-Man. Isn't that crazy? Like, and she accidentally knocks the bag over, and pretty much Spider-Man mask falls out, as well as the drawing sketches for his red and blue suit. And Nico's like, oh, and Peter's like, oh shit. And Nico leaves. Peter looks to Harry, and Harry's like, I thought she knew. And he's like, oh, God. And like, I'm just like, all right. And also right now, like, I had to see also what's next, because I had to see how she reacts to this, because, like, again, internet, oh my god, she doesn't need to know his secrets. I feel like those people who like to cheat on other people, and like, you don't need to know what I'm doing. It's like, shut the hell, what the fuck, what are you doing? Anyways, I feel like you should be open to friends. But yeah, like, she is, yeah, but that's that whole thing, and, she ran off. So the question is, how is this all going to react to it? Where's Daredevil playing into this? That he's looking into Norman Osborn. Also, the guy that Norman says is Peter, or is Spider-Man, is the guy who woke Peter up. But, and they're registering him for the Sokovia Accords as Spider-Man. But, I'm trying to think. Peter. But yeah, so I guess right now I want to wait and see, because like literally the three examples that people are hating on are Amber, Lois, and this of like, oh, he should never know. They don't need to know his secret identity. Shut up. Loved ones should know, because because when they don't come back home at one point, probably going to be bad. And also at the same point too, it would clear up a lot and allow someone to, help in these certain scenarios of like, oh yeah, Peter had something to do with his mom or some shit like that. His mom, yeah, his dead mom. But yeah, I feel like, and also mind you, you get way better stories when he has family members that your loved ones that know his secret identity than just, oh well, I gotta disappear. I'm back. I'm sorry I missed the baby shower. Shit, I gotta disappear again. I'm back. I'm sorry I missed this. Where do you go all the time? The bathroom. Oh my god, really? The bathroom every time? Yes, it's like I've seen that so many damn times, and it confuses the shit out of me that people want to see that more. Like, no, stop it. Stop. I hate that plot so much. At least when there are people who knew your secret identity and the plot line and all that stuff, at least then, there's so much more you could do story-wise. Anyways. Yeah, so Nico now knows. Let's see how she reacts, because apparently people were just going crazy bullshit over that, so I want to see what's going to happen with that, but anyways. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check over that, done. Wait, actually, before I finish this, again, the 3 examples. Amber, Lois, Nico. Lois is doing it again. Lois already knew his secret identity and wanted him to admit to it, not because of she believed she was entitled to it. She did it because she knew that Clark would get himself killed if he didn't have more people helping him. And she literally saw him almost die. And he almost did die. Like, that was the reason why she did it. She did not do it for herself. She did it to try to help Clark. Nico here is pissed because they believe they're friends together and, they were separate, and she sees, obviously she has some abandonment issues, being in foster care, assuming her parents didn't die, which maybe they did, who knows, but Nico's, a little bit of that going on and her friend slowly kind of disappearing on her, and now, I gotta bring up Lonnie's story too, I forgot about that, but, Nico's whole thing, and so she's feeling slightly betrayed because, this new guy who she's also been kind of warning about is now suddenly knowing more about Peter than she did, even though they were supposed to be best friends and all this stuff. And, she feels betrayed and hurt. That's understandable. Amber literally got pissed off at her boyfriend for saving people instead of going on a date with her. There is such a... I don't know how anyone thinks that is the exact same thing as Lois or Nico right here. I have zero idea how that got into your thick skull. Holy shit. In any case. Also, Tombstone is Lonnie's now kind of embracing the gang life a little bit. His after he, I can't remember the last one or this one. After he, after he won, he got kicked off the football team, and eventually he just, left school and all that together. He's like, alright, fine, whatever. He gets stabbed, protecting Big Don, but Big Don's like, yeah, you're with us now. You're one of us, bro. And eventually, Scorpion's guys, eventually, he's just, embracing that life a little bit more. His brother's kind of pissed off that he is. He's like, you were supposed to be better than me, and, I have nothing, and you were supposed to be... He's like, shut up. And he then gets chased by Scorpion's second lieutenant, and he goes back to, the 501st, wherever the hell the name's, street, or, base, and they're there, but they get trailed there, and the Scorpion now is getting fitted with his armored Scorpion suit with the tail. So, time to see what happens next. I'm excited. But, yeah. Show's pretty freaking good. It is really good. Again, warning on everything shit that Disney's doing, but it's pretty awesome. And it's, very much Lonnie and Peter, I don't think have interacted since, the first 2 episodes. Also, Peter is now, classmate. Also, Peter is now lab partners with Pearl, or one of the lab partners. Pearl. He got what he kind of wanted. And also, something I just realized that I'm noticing through a lot of this, the plot line of him liking her, which I'm sure we'll probably get more of in the next few episodes. But it's not a massive focus of him trying to get with a girl that's with someone right now. I'm sure eventually that's gonna leak into this shit. or either he's gonna try to get with her, or Lonnie's gonna look at her like, oh, really, you're gonna do me like that, or something like that. So, gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. I also do like that the suit changed from his homemade suit to his new foundation suit, with all these flips and everything. And so, yeah, it's pretty neat. But anyways, it's cool. I like it a lot. Tell me what you think as well. Thanks for watching. Also, there's a picture of Spider-Gwen for season 2, and shows her throwing what looks like a goblin bomb. That's pretty sick. Anyways, and I'm like, okay, maybe Osborn's gonna make Spider-Gwen into his new spider vigilante for hire. I don't know. But anyways, tell me what you think as well. Thanks for watching. Check out all my other videos. Hope you enjoy this. Check out Wolftown, my own little animated show thing, which should have some cool things in there. With may or may not be similar to Spider-Man. But anyway, thanks for watching. Good videos. Hope you enjoy this. Let's see how this plays out. And we'll see you later. It's pretty decent. Again, some little wonky things with like this web swinging, but it is pretty decent, and even the writing is pretty good. Way better than 2017.